Now, after rounds of negotiations, a deal to export Ukrainian grain into international markets has now finally been signed. Russia and Ukraine managed to sign the much-awaited grain deal with Turkey and the United Nations. Now, the deal will help reopen the Ukrainian Black Sea port for grain exports, and this has raised hopes that global food crisis aggravated by the war can now be eased. Avoiding the same table or even handshakes, the Russian defense minister and the Ukrainian infrastructure minister managed to sign separate agreements, but they were identical in their terms. Now, sitting kilometers away in Kiev, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that it is now up to the United Nations to ensure that everyone adheres to this deal. He's also called the move as a demonstration that Ukraine is capable of resisting this war.
І для усіх зрозуміло, що з боку Росії можуть бути якісь там провокації, якісь намагання дискредитувати українські та міжнародні зусилля, але ми довіряємо ООН. Тепер це їх відповідальність і наших міжнародних партнерів гарантувати дотримання домовленості. Це чергова демонстрація того, що Україна здатна вистояти у цій війні. Важливо, що у територіальних водах України все буде контролюватися саме нашою державою.
Meanwhile, Russia has assured that it will not take any advantage of the demined Ukrainian ports for staging an amphibious attack. Elated at the sight of the leaders of the two warring nations sitting across the table in Istanbul, the United Nations chief also described the deal as a beacon of hope to bring an end to the hostilities.
Today, there is a beacon on the Black Sea, a beacon of hope, a beacon of possibility, a beacon of relief in a world that needs it more than ever. I want to recognize and thank all those who helped make it happen.
Meanwhile, Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that the deal will help prevent famine and will also ease global food inflation. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was pretty quick to react to the deal. He said that he had little confidence that Russia would fulfill its side of the bargain, because Ottawa's confidence in Moscow's reliability is pretty much nil, but nonetheless, he said that he's pretty optimistic. Now, as the deal was sealed, Africa heaved a sigh of relief, as the grain blockade had led to a global food crisis, with the African nations suffering the worst. Now, the presidents of the African leaders need to use this conflict as a bit of a wake-up call for self-sufficiency, is how they've described this conflict.
Indiqué d'ailleurs au président Zelensky que je souhaitais que l'approvisionnement se fasse en priorité vers le continent africain, en raison de la fragilité des économies et de la situation sociale dans beaucoup de pays.
Our continued reliance on massive amounts of grains from that theater of the world or that part of the world should be seen as a risk and a real danger to African countries, 1.3 billion people. We therefore need to use this conflict as a wake-up call.
Now, the deal will also enable Ukraine to export nearly about 22 million tons of grain and other agricultural products that have been stuck in the Black Sea port due to the war. Now, Kiev blames this on a blockade by Russia's Black Sea fleet, and this has sparked a global food crisis that has not been witnessed in many years. Furthermore, West's sanctions on Russia have given space to inflation in food and energy prices. The latest grain deal has also led to a fall in wheat prices, which finally retreated to levels that were last witnessed prior to the Russian invasion. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.